after the last talk about the Bhakti Yoga, a thought occurred to me regarding what Bhagavan said in Shlok 11 and 12 of that chapter, regarding renunciation of all karam phal, sarva karam phal tyag. अथैदप्य शक्तोसि कर्तु मद्योगमाश्रिता सर्व कर्म फलम त्यागम ततः कुरु यतात्मवान. And next श्लोक was श्रेयो हि ज्ञानाभ्यास अज्ञानानाद्यनाम विशंसिते ध्यानात् कर्म फल त्यागात् तिग्र अंतरम. Says the meaning is of this, which the meaning which fits best of this two shlok is all our life and the body that are result of karma. Our life and our body, they are all result of our karma. That's why our lives are different. Everybody is different. And everybody's body is different. Because everybody's karma is not the same. In our life, in this human body, we perform karma. You can only perform karma in the human body. No other body karma can be performed. And their fruit will be forthcoming here in this or the next lives. They take turn, they come in turn. So, if one surrenders their life to Parameshwar, just pay attention, life. So we have life and the body. So anybody who surrenders their life to Parameshwar, that will be the renunciation of all karma. Right? Because all the karma done in that body will belong to Parameshwar, not to you. So, this is what karma phal tyag is. Okay? People usually think we do a karma and we make money, we give it, donate or something. That's not karma phal tyag. Because you took it, partake it. You didn't do tyag because it's still in the back of our mind, I did this. So the real renunciation, real karma phal tyag is to get the root of the karma, give it to the Paramatma. And the root of the karma is the life. That doesn't mean you kill yourself. No. You live for Paramatma only. Because all the karma performed in the life will be for Ishwar and will result in anantaram shanti or instant shanti, total shanti. No problem then. See, like if you work for somebody, they are responsible for your actions. Right? Not you. So now you're working for Paramatma. He is responsible for all of our action then. It is onus is up to him, on him, to make sure that we do the right thing. Of course, we have to know how to do this renunciation or karma phal tyag. We have to know that. This meaning fits here the best and is also what Bhagwan Sri Chakradhar has said. Bhagwan Sri Chakradhar said that if one lives his life in accordance to my instructions, which we call Astipari, then in the next life, Parmeshwar will give him sambandh or contact. The Parmeshwar himself will contact him in the next life. That is the phal. If a person lives according to the instructions, that is what is giving life away is. Giving life to Paramatma means to live according to the rules and the teachings of Ishwar, Avatar. So every life is important, and the life in the human body is the most important life, because this is only where we can exercise this option. We can achieve this, nowhere else. So we don't need to waste our human life. Make best use of it. When there is an avatar of Ishwar for the purpose of Uddharan, the only reason Ishwar takes avatar is to do Jeev Uddhar. That's only he cares. He doesn't care for anything else. That avatar is in human body. He takes avatar as a human being. He doesn't tell everybody that I am Ishwar, but he is Ishwar in human body. Any action performed in that body results in no stain, no bondage. Namami karmani limpanti. So whatever actions are performed in that body, human body in which there is Ishwar avatar, the owner of that body has no karam lip. Namami karmani limpanti. Because, says Bhagavan, I have no craving for the fruit of those actions. I just do my job. That's all I do. I don't care for what fruit is coming. Name karma phale spraha. So the whole thing is based on karma phal spraha. Desire for the fruit of our actions. If there is no longing for the fruit of action, action does not cause a stain or bondage to Jeev. What binds us? Longing, not the fruit of action, longing for the fruit of action, craving for it. It's not the fruit of action or the action. It's the craving for the fruit of action, that I want this. Okay? That is what causes bondage. And craving is also an action. So that action causes bondage. And this is what is called attachment or asakti. So what Ishwar Avatar does in sansar? He does karya karma. Karya karma karotiya. Bhagavan Krishna said that about the yogi and jnani. They only do karya karma. His dutiful karma without any expectations, just does dutiful karma and leaves. Another important thing that the Bhakti Yoga teaches us is the correct meaning of the word self-realization, which is the realization that we in this human body are Jeev and are separate from Ishwar. We are not Brahma, we are Jeev and separate from Ishwar. Ishwar is different. Now in this chapter, Bhagavan has given a different form to the Gyan. Bhagavan tells Arjuna Gyan in different ways. But here is a different form. It is called Kshetra and Kshetrajna. This body has been called the Kshetra. And one who knows and understands the Kshetra is called Kshetrajna, the knower of the field. Right? It is interesting as to why Bhagavan used this metaphor to convey the Gyan to Arjuna. In this chapter there is pure Gyan. So why did he use this metaphor to tell Arjuna the Gyan? In those days, Bharat was an agrarian country, agricultural country. There the farmer had to know the field. They have to know what to do in the field, what the field is like. Is it banjar? Is it productive? Or productive it is? You have to know that. Without it, he would not be able to produce a good yield. So, we must have the knowledge of the field. And the one who has the knowledge of the field, the Kshetrajna, and need to know the power that is behind the Kshetrajna. Kshetrajna is not Kshetrajna by himself. There is a power behind him. This is what life is. Somebody say, what is life? Life is knowing your body you are in and what to do. That's life. If you don't know what to do, you're lost. If you don't know what your body is like, that's why in Hindu Dharma there is a yoga shastra. They do yoga. Not this kind of exercise here. They really do true yoga. That kept their body in tune. And when the body is in tune, then when you study the Gyan, you understand better. Right? So there are 4 things that are active in our lives. That's what runs our life. That's what our life is. Of them, there are 3 of them are Chetan. Chetan means living. And 1 is Jad, inanimate. The 3 Chetan are the Paraprakriti, also called Devata. In the West, they call it angels, or in Islam, they call Farishta. So that's Paraprakriti. The second one is the one who experiences the fruit of action administered by Devata or Paraprakriti. And the third one is the Parameshwar, who is also called the silent watcher. He doesn't interfere. He just watches what's going on all the time because he's everywhere at all times. So he's silent. He's not saying anything. He just watches what you're doing, what's going on in this sansar. He always watches over everything and does not interfere in whatever is being done. Then there is another prakriti called apara prakriti, which is jada. Here it has been called kshetra. The jada prakriti is called kshetra, the physical body. For the one who experiences the fruit of their action, in that body we experience the fruit of the action. Simply put, there is the conditioned Atma, which is entrapped in the material existence. Our Atma is entrapped in the material existence, which is the body. There he tries to lord over the material nature. Everybody wants to lord over everything they see, material things. That's all they can do. According to his limited capacity to dominate over the material existence, he is given a field of activity. This is what is body in which all activities are performed. This is kshetra. In this chapter, Bhagavan tells Arjuna what all is in the kshetra. Unfortunately, not having the complete jnana of the kshetra, the conditioned Atma wants to enjoy the pleasures of the senses. Now we'll take a break here. What is the conditioned Atma? Conditioning comes from what? From doing something and experiencing. That conditions us. If we start to eat some sweet, little bit sweet, we have no taste, no taste bud for sweets. But if we start tasting a little bit more, and that's how alcoholism comes in. That's how all drug addiction comes in. Then slowly and slowly mind becomes conditioned to that taste. Because there is joy. You get some kind of joy in there. So it's not the taste, it's the joy which comes with that taste, enjoying. And that is what conditioning is. Slowly you condition. Just like take a frog, put in a bowl of water. You can slowly increase the temperature and you can boil this frog without any, you won't get out of there. That's conditioning. All of our Atma is conditioned Atma. It's been conditioned from our karma. And God knows how many karma we have done. We have done so many karma. Okay? So that's conditioning. Now what Bhagavan does is uncondition that mind. Your Atma is that mind. Because that mind is what is experiencing everything, and mind is what is being conditioned by the action. So remember, the mind is the key here. So mind has to be unconditioned. What Gyan does, try to explain to that mind that through buddhi that here this is wrong, this is the truth, not this. But that Gyan has a power of convincing. It has its own inherent intrinsic power, natural power. So if you listen to the Gyan carefully and accept it, that power will try to help make that mind understand what the reality is. And slowly over time, that mind will unwind from its conditioning. And as it unwinds, more and more Gyan comes into it. more and more knowledge comes into it. You see what I'm saying? This is the whole thing. So this is Kshetra Gyan is very important here. This want of the senses. See, the Atma, the conditioned Atma want to enjoy the pleasures of the senses. That's why it's been conditioned that way. Our mind has been conditioned to enjoy the pleasures of the senses. That's what we do every day, don't we? We want to wear beautiful clothes so we look good, right? We want to drive a nice car so we can show, I'm so, people will say, very nice car, they appreciate, This all same thing is the pleasures of the senses. We look at somebody and in their view, this person is not beautiful. So you say, oh, he's so ugly, right? Because the mind is conditioned to do that way. Go into Africa. Their beauty standard is totally different, isn't it? Go to India. Their beauty standard is, you don't know what their beauty standard is. Because they copy after the West. Okay. So, what is beauty? That's been also explained in the Gyan. Whether a person is dark skinned or light skinned, it doesn't matter. But our mind has been conditioned in such a way that we act that way. They act in the wrong way, which is because it's not based on Gyan. So this want of the senses, sense gratification, is called vasana. Okay? Wanting the sense gratification is what vasana is. And anything that is perceived by the senses is called Vishay. So all the time, every day people sing bhajan about Vishay Vasana, right? What is Vishay Vasana? Vishay is what is perceived by the senses. And Vasana is desire to get more and more of that. Sense gratification. That is the process of conditioning of the mind. The one without complete knowledge of the Kshetra only knows the indulgence in the Vishay. Only knows how to indulge into the Vishay and doesn't understand what it's going to do to him. Doesn't know how to get out of it. Get more deeper and deeper and deeper into this hole. Okay? Those who can get out and stay away from it, they are getting Amrit. Those who are not, they are getting wish out of the sansar. Because that will end into their doom. Whose doom? The Atma. Will spiral down. This is what we will call the Vishay Vasana. The conditioned Atma is offered a body by Devata according to his capacity to enjoy the sense gratification. Understand now? The conditioned Atma is offered a body. Okay? Suppose person dies. Their Atma doesn't die. That's conditioned Atma. How you get into the next life? Through that conditioned Atma, Devata gives that Atma a body in which that Atma can enjoy the conditioning part of it further. That is next life. Circle has to be broken somewhere, but it keeps going on and on and on. So this body is given to enjoy the sense gratification. Therefore, the body is called kshetra, or the field of activity for the conditioned Atma. The knower of the field of action is called kshetragna. So in this chapter, there is the jnana of these four entities. What are these four entities? Jeev, Devata, Prapanch, and Parameshwar. These are the four entities. And knowing them, having their jnana, is what jnana is. There is nothing else. That's what jnana is. To know about these four entities. So Prapanch is apara prakriti. Devta is para prakriti. And Parameshwar is the silent watcher. So the body is an abode comprised of 5 bhoot, Panchbhoot: ego, buddhi, and avyakt. This is what body is comprised of. We use it to do the work. So it is the Jada Prakriti. In the body there is also the Chetan Prakriti, which is Kshetagna. It knows the Kshetra and knows what can be done in it and knows whatever we do in it. He knows that too. We need to know what we need to do in this body. This is our life. Not knowing what all can be done in this body will be like getting a field, owning a farm, but not knowing what can be produced in that field. You own a farm. You don't have no idea how to grow anything, but you have a farm, right? You don't know what will grow in it. Maybe that farm can grow beautiful mango trees, right? But you don't know. So you plant cactus, right? So that's what the whole thing is about. You got to know what we got. As a result, we will only do what others have been doing in the field. Parampara. What our parents did, and their parents did, and go on back and forth. We keep following the same thing over and over again without paying any attention to what really we should do. Copying other people, because that's all we know. From childhood, we are taught that. So that is a problem. So cannot make progress. Can you? As a result, we will only do what others have done for ages. We must know what we can do from this field, can do in this field. We can get Amrit. From this field, we can get Amrit, if we know how to get it, as well as Vish, or the poison. So, knowing what we should do and how we will know as to what what our karma is in this body. How will we know? To explain this to Arjun, Bhagavan Krishna has used the metaphor of Kshetra, Kshetragna. In the last chapter, Bhagavan described 2 types of bhakti. But what results from bhakti and jnana is described in this chapter. So it's continuation. Now we'll take up the shlokas.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramityabhidhiyate Etad yo vetti tam prahuhu Kshetrajna iti tadvidaha.
Bhagavan says, Kaunteya idam shariram. Arjun, Kunti Putra, son of Kunti, this is body. Abhidhiyate kshetram iti. This body is called kshetra. This is your kshetra. As seed sown in the field in time bear fruit, similarly the seed of karma sanskar, not karma, karma sanskar, sown here bears fruit in time. Some point in time it will bear the fruit. It's guaranteed. Therefore, the body is named kshetra. It bears karma phal etat ya vidhi. The one who knows it tam kshetragya iti prahu. He is called kshetragya. Tadvidi. By those jnani, by whom he is called kshetragya, by those jnani who know it by tattva, by a sense. Know the kshetra by essence. So that person who knows is called kshetragya. Bhagavan tells Arjun that you have been given this body, know what all is in it and what all can be produced from it. Most come in their body, do what others have been doing, and at death leave the body. However, they never know what can be produced from the body. Here, one thing we must understand is this body is not ours in the physical sense. Okay? This is not our body. We did not make it. Physically, we do not own this body. The ownership is only for what we can do while occupying it. Okay? It is like real estate. Fittingly, real estate is dirt. The body is also made out of panchbhut, dirt. So, it's like real estate where we only have the title to the property for quiet enjoyment. Nobody owns their land. It's not theirs. Only thing we own is the title for quiet enjoyment of that property. Same thing is this body. We got this body, we purchased it actually through our karma, and that purchase is not our body. We have been given this body for the time duration to have quiet enjoyment in it. Understand now? So never say, "This is my body." We don't own it, and that's where the problem comes in the organ donorship and all that sort of stuff. So, this kshetra is the correct word to describe. That's why the kshetra is the correct word to describe the physical body, which is made of 5 bhut. So that word is really correct word, kshetra. There is another reason why Bhagavan called the body kshetra. Any Ishwar avatar that comes in sansar with the purpose of jivodhar is called Krishna. Okay? The Krishna we call Krishna is Vasudeva Krishna. Okay? But any avatar which comes for Jeev Uddhar is Krishna. The word Krishna is derived from Sanskrit word Krashak. the farmer. A good farmer knows all about the land which cultivates. He prepares the field accordingly. There and before he plants the seed in it. Has to be cleaned, has to be tilled, in proper tilth, then you put the seed in it. The profession of farmer is called Krishi, and the farmer is called Krashak. Similarly, a Krishna avatar cleanses and purifies the Chetan content of our body. The Antakaran purifies our Antakaran, mind, intellect is purified by it. Before sowing the seed of Gyan for Jeev Uddhar. So, such avatar is the Kshetragya. He knows what to do in that body, in that Kshetra. We can look at this in another way. We can say that the body is a machine or a robot. It will need the software to operate. The software is written by Paraprakriti. The operation of the robot are experienced by the jeev which is in the body. The past karma, sanskar, provide the basis for the software. Whatever, you follow now? The past karma, sanskar, that's what the Paraprakriti base uses to write the new software for this body. Okay. The software is constantly updated till the end or the death of the body. This explains why there are conflicts in the life. Not knowing the true nature of the other person, most of us want the others to look at things like us. Everybody does that. If somebody doesn't look at things like us, we don't like them. There's conflict. This is due to our agyan. But if we have gyan, we say, well, he's different, that's his prakriti. My prakriti is different, let's let it go there. Parmeshwar, the Kshetragya, on the other hand, has complete gyan and does not interfere. Parmeshwar is only Shakshi or the silent watcher. So, here Bhagavan is explaining to Arjuna the knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetragya. This is another way to tell the Gyan. Karma performed according to the Gyan will bear fruits which are good. Yata Shreya. Those karma will be Shreyakar, will be good for Atma. And that's what Arjuna wanted, didn't he? Arjuna wanted Bhagavan Krishna to tell him what is Shreya for him. So here it is called Yata Shreya for the Jeev. It's good for the Jeev. Having introduced the Kshetra and Kshetragya, Bhagavan is telling the Gyan. The next slok.
Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetragyayor jnanam yattaj jnanam matam mama.
Bhagavan says, Bharat, Arjun, Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi. Know me also a Kshetragya. First stroke he told about Kshetra. Now he's saying, know me also as Kshetragna, knower of the field. Sarva Kshetreshu. Kshetragna what? All Kshetra, every Kshetra that there exist. What are all Kshetra? These include the body of humans, animals, birds, insects, ants, etc. Bhagavan says that in all bodies, Sarva Kshetreshu, know me too as Kshetragna. Meaning that I too occupy them and become the master. This means that Bhagavan says, I too have some Kshetra. Kshetra, Kshetragya, Yat Jnanam. The Jnana of Kshetra and Kshetragna, Mam Mata, according to me, or in my view, Bhagavan says, Tat Jnanam, that is the Jnana. What is Jnana? Knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetragna. Bhagavan says, in my view, that is what Jnana is. In Gita, Bhagavan has talked about the Jnana at 4 places. Chapter 7, Shlok 2, 4 and 5. Chapter 9, Shlok 1, 4 and 8. Chapter 14, Shlok 1 and 3. And here in chapter 13. In chapter 7, Bhagavan told Arjuna that I am telling my Jnana with Vigyan, knowing which there will be nothing left to know. And what that Jnana was? He said there is eightfold Prakriti of mine, which is Jad and is called Apara Prakriti. Besides this, there is my Para Prakriti. That's what Bhagavan told Arjuna in that chapter, which is Chetan and supports the entire creation. There is Jeev, and separate from all, I am, who is everywhere. In chapter 9, Bhagavan said to Arjuna, that I am going to tell you the most secret and profound Jnana, Guhyatam Jnanam, with Vigyan, because you are my Bhakt, devoted to without the carping nature. You have no Isha, you are my Bhakt. Knowing which thou shalt be free from evil, which is called sansar. You will be free from sansar. There he told Arjuna that sansar is pervaded by me in my unmanifested form. All beings exist in me, but I do not dwell in them. In Shlok 8, Bhagavan said that wielding my Prakriti, all this multitude of beings are released again and again helplessly according to their karma under the sway of my Prakriti. See how clear it is? Isha Prakriti, which is Maya, is bringing all the Jeev over again and again and again. Helplessly, they have no say in it, whether they're going to go or not. At the time of death, person doesn't have say that I'm not going to leave. Right? Prakriti takes away. It's gone to next chapter. And then put you into next life and you have no say whether you want to come in that life or not. Prakriti puts you back in there. Then here in chapter 13, describing Kshetra and Kshetragna. And in chapter 14, Shlok 3, he says that all prani bhut are born out of my womb, the Mahat Brahma, in which I place the seed of all life. Thus, all beings are created from that union of matter and spirit, O Arjun. So here again, Bhagavan describes the Gyan as the Gyan of Paraprakriti, Aparaprakriti, Jeev and Ishwar. That is the Gyan. Knowing these four things, that is Gyan. One who knows it is Gyani. Now we look back to Shlok 2. Kshetragna chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata, Bhagavan says. Arjun, know me as Kshetragna in all kshetra. This is one meaning which is taken by most people. The simple meaning, know me as Kshetragna in all kshetra. So how many types of kshetra there are? According to Gyan, there are 4 types of body or kshetra. These are Jaraj. Jaraj means the one born in amniotic sac. That's Jaraj, as human bodies and 4-legged animals. Andaj, born out of an egg, as fish and birds, etc. Udbhij, born out of seed, all the vegetation. And Svedaj, the born out of perspiration of other people. Okay? This is interesting. At one time we had some cat food sitting in the house. It got wet. Okay? It's in the bag intact, got wet. All of a sudden, after a few days, I started to see some insects flying around. Now, who put them there? You know, there's ghun in gehu, right? Did anybody put them in there? Because everything's sanitized, clean, bagged. So, and they were just flying around the house. I had a hard time trying to get rid of them. So there was the kshetra created by wetting that food, and Prakriti put Jeev in there. Thousands of them. Where else they will come? And because bag is sealed. So that is how Jeev are born again and again in different life forms. Okay? People have a lot of ants, right? They have different treatment for ant, but they can't get rid of them. Prakriti brings them back according to their karma into that kshetra. So we will take a second meaning of the first part of the shlok. Kshetragya chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Here the word cha api. Chapi means cha api. Know me also. Api means also. Know me also the kshetragna. Not know me kshetragna in all the kshetra, no. Know me also the kshetragna. This indicates that there is some other kshetragna. So in kshetra, the Atma is kshetragna. However, Bhagavan says, know me also as kshetragna. However, when Bhagavan used the word api, this denotes that he appears in some of those kshetra, not all of them. He appears in some kshetra, not not every kshetra. He does not appear in Narak Yoni. Okay? Ishwar doesn't take avatar in Narak Yoni. As Svedaj, he never will appear in Svedaj. But Jivatma comes in all kshetra. So there is a differentiation here. Nomi also a kshetragna, but not in all of them. So now the meaning is Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata Arjun, in all kshetra there is kshetragna or Jivatma cha api kshetragna mam vidhi. But in some kshetra, know me as kshetragna. In my view, Bhagavan says this jnana of kshetra and kshetragna is the jnana. According to the Advait philosophy, the meaning is that Ishwar comes in all yoni, every yoni. The second meaning is that one who knows about kshetra is kshetragna and he is Atma, and I, the Paramatma, Ishwar, comes as kshetragna in some of those kshetra, not all of them. So these are two meanings. In one, the Jivatma and the Paramatma are one, and in the other meaning, the Paramatma is separate from Jivatma. You follow now? In one he says, I come in all yoni. So that means he is like Jivatma. That's why they say, Aham Brahma Asmi. But in the second meaning, there is a difference. Jivatma is separate, Paramatma is separate. So Ishwar takes avatar, but not in all kshetra. The human body is so pure, holy, that there is Jivatma, but occasionally Ishwar takes avatar in it. Therefore, we must get that jnana of the kshetragna or the Ishwar who comes in that body. Does he experience pain like human beings? The Jivatma gets some benefit from the kshetra. But for what benefit Ishwar takes avatar? We come in there for some benefit. Why does Ishwar come in? Ishwar takes avatar not for any benefit, but for Jivodhar. Ishwar has everything. What does he need? He doesn't come for anything. He controls everything, so what benefit he needs? Therefore, he has told repeatedly that I bring forth all prani in the sansar, but he only takes avatar when there is a need. In the next two shlok, there is a deeper meaning or the deeper jnana.
Takshetram yaccha yadrikcha yadvikari yatascha yat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shunu.
Tat kshetra, the body that is called kshetra, that field, yatcha, what it is, and yadrakcha, what its properties are. What is that body which is called kshetra? And what are its properties? Yad vikari, what are its vikar? Yat Yat yat, from what causes and what effects arise from those causes. What are the causes of the vikar and what effects arise from those causes? So there is cause and effect relationship. In other words, what vikar causes what effect in the kshetra? Which vikar will cause what effect? You have to know that. Such a yah, who he is, meaning the kshetragna is, and what is his impact, prabhav. What does kshetragna prabhav is on the kshetra? Hear that from me in brief, Bhagavan says. Me shrunu tat samasen. Listen, hear that from me in brief. So Bhagavan says, what is the body called kshetra? What are its properties? What vikar happens in it? What vikar is cause of what effect? Or what is the product of that vikar in the body? Who is kshetragna? And what is his prabhav or effect of kshetragna? What does he get from the kshetra? All that hear from me in brief, Bhagavan says. So we need to understand what is vikar. Vikar means a change in the state. In Sanskrit, it is called parivartan or complete transformation. An example of this is the transformation of milk into yogurt. Once milk is transformed into yogurt, it cannot go back to the state of being milk. This is very important to understand because it is irreversible change in the state. Please understand that once a vikar happens in the mind, the state of the mind changes and how it cannot go back. Now it cannot go back to its original state. Once the mind is exposed, vikar comes in there, the mind is altered. This is what is called the conditioned mind. The mind is also a part of the kshetra. In the body, 6 types of vikar takes place. They occur in sequence. First one is jayate, to be born. The body is born. Asti, it exists. It is present or to be present. Vardhate, growing. With age, the body grows. And with age, vikar comes and body changes. Viparinamrite, the change in the form occurs in the body. The skin wrinkles, difficulty in getting up. This leads to 6th vikar, which is called apakshiyate. Gradually, the energy level goes down and in the end, vinashyati, the ending or the death. So these are the 6 vikar that happen in the body. Everybody. These changes occur in the kshetra. The kshetra is made of prapanch. Having said this, Bhagavan tells Arjun that this has been said before in Shastra by others. But I am telling you this in brief in the battlefield. We cannot go in detail in the battlefield, so he is telling I'll tell you in brief.
ऋषिभिर्बहुधा गीतम् छन्दोभिर्विविधैः पृथक् ब्रह्मसूत्रपदैश्चैव हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितैः.
Rishibhi Bauddha Gitam. This has been said in many ways by rishis. Bahuda Gitam. In many ways been said by rishis. In Treta Yuga. And Vividha Chandovi Prathak. In many mantra of Ved, in various ways, the description of Jivatma, Kshetra and Kshetragna has been done. Cha and Brahma Sutra Padaschaiva. Not only this, in the Brahma Sutra, you know Brahma Sutra? Brahma Sutra was created by Badarayan, Rishi Badarayan. In the Brahma Sutra written by Badarayan, it has been decided full of reasoning and convincing. Okay? In Brahma Sutra, that Gyan has been given with reasoning, convincing reasoning. As to what is Kshetra and Kshetragna. They have also described it. So Bhagavan says it's not new. It's been described many times before by many other people. So in these two shlokas, it has been said that we have to know as to what the body or the kshetra is, or the field of action is, how it is made, what vikar takes place in it, what are the effects of these vikar. All this we need to know about the kshetra and what are the effects of whatever grows in the kshetra. You follow me, with me? Whatever grows in the kshetra, whatever karma we do, what are the effects of it? We have to know. We don't know, but we should know. Kshetragna knows that. Whether the karma done in the body will elevate us or will keep us in the cycle of birth and death like most of us do. So that's the difference. We need to know the true value of the body so we can get the most out of it. This has been told by rishis, sages, and even in Brahma Sutra. Still people have not understood this. In the next two shlokas, Bhagavan is telling about the swarup of the kshetra. The knowledge of the kshetra will help us know its value. So now he's telling us what kshetra is made up of. What is the swarup of the kshetra?
Mahabhutanyahangkaro buddhiravyaktamev cha indriyani dashaikam cha panchachendriya gocharaha.
Next one.
Ichha dveshah sukham dukkham Sanghataschetana dhritihi etat kshetram samasena savikaramudahritam.
Here Bhagavan tells what is kshetra and the vikar are born out of it. In some views there are 13 entities in this body, in the kshetra. 31, not 13, 31 entities. And in other view, there are 36 entities which are in this body, working all the time. So there are 5 Mahabhut. These are earth, water, fire, wind or air, and space. These are 5 Mahabhut which make up this body, Kshetra. Then there is Ahankar, ego. Every Kshetra has got ego, no matter what it is. Even a dog will bark, say, pay attention to me. Okay? That's what he wants. He wants to be paid attention to. So everybody has an ego. Every Kshetra has got ego. So anybody said, I don't have ego, they're lying. Everybody has ego. Somebody asked me what happens to the ego. Huh? I say ego doesn't go away. It just changes its form. With Gyan, even Gyani has got ego. But his ego is attenuated. It changes. It doesn't affect anybody else. He knows that he has got ego and he keeps under control. It doesn't go away. As long as there is life, there is ego. So, Buddhi, intellect. So every body has got certain level of intellect. Avyakt, or the 3 gunas, the Avyakt Prakriti also can be called Prakriti Atma. The 3 gunas are working ceaselessly in every body, every kshetra, all the time. Some people have one gun propensity, higher propensity, one gun, others have different. According to that they are acting their role. And they have no control over it. That's the problem. Whatever gun we earned through our karma sanskar in the past lives, that gun comes and shows up in the present life and start acting up. It's not we are acting, it's the guna. Guna guneshu vartante it matva na sajjate. Jnani says, yeah, this is guna going. He is mad right now. He'll quiet down after a while. Give it time, Don't interfere with his anger. Let him be angry. Let him burn himself a little bit. Then he'll cool down. So there is always this. And Avyakt is there all the time. So Avyakt is 3 gunas. Sattva, Raj and Tam. With it, there are 10 senses. 5 are called Jnanendriya, 5 are called Karmendriya. 10 senses. 5 objects of the senses. Vishay. Then there is a desire, Ichha. In every kshetra there is desire. Everybody wants something, right? Then there is pleasure, sukh. There is also pain, dukh. They come together. Pleasure and pain, they are not separate, they come together. Then aggregate the body, sanghat. Everything together in one bundle, that's aggregate. All these 5 gun, everything in one bundle. Consciousness, chetana and fortitude, dhriti. So these are 31 entities which make up the kshetra and always working in there. The kshetra has been thus described in brief along with its modification, vikar. Bhagavan Shri Chakradhar has described kshetra as following. He has got 36 of them, not 31. He's got 5 Mahabhut. These are Jal. There are 5 Devta. Behind every Mahabhut there is a Devta Shakti, which is Chetan. Why the wind blows? There is Shakti, there is power behind. So there is Vayu Devata. There is Vayu and Vayu Devata. So Vayu is Jal, Vayu Devata is Chetan. Ego, Buddhi, Avyakt. Avyakt is the same as we described before, Prakriti Guna. With it there are 10 senses, 5 objects of the senses, desire, sukh, dukh, sanghat. Now here sanghat Bhagavan has described differently. It includes pindastha. Sanghat means pindastha, or the place of each devta in our body. In our body, every devta resides. There is a place for every devta in our body, in the human body. All the devta that exist, their places are in every human body. That is why when somebody murders a human being, it is like he has killed the whole Brahman. It is really, he's never gonna see light of day, He's gonna go into Narak, Gaur Narak. So these people killing people, human beings, they come back, they get killed again, and this cycle keeps going on and on and on. Consciousness and Dhriti. Together, these 36 constitute the Kshetra. There are some entities that are told here in addition to 31, which was told before. Of these, the one to understand are Pindastha. There's 2 of them we need to understand. Pindastha. These are the skeletal marking of every devta of the universe in the pind, in our pind, our body. These are sketches of these devatas on the body of the devta, on part of human body. So, whosoever gets the vidya of any devata, people go like these days they get devta power, right? And so they have power of their devta. So if they get power of some devta, he starts to see the sketch of that devta in his body. Okay? And then he considers that sketch, shining sketch in the body, which he's seeing, he considers that to be his Paramatma. And he prays to that Paramatma all the time. This is what Kabir has described when he said, Tera साईं तुझमें ज्यों पूपन में बास कस्तूरी का मृग बन बन ढूंढे घास. Your Lord is within you like the fragrance of the flower. So that's what Pindastha is. Chetana is another one we need to understand, which is a little different. This is counted here separately. Chetana. Somebody will say, well, they are alive, Chetan, why you call Chetana separate? Here Chetana is separate because it is part of the Chaitanya Devata, which is with the Jeev at all the time. Okay? It instigates Jeev in Pap Karma, all Sansar Karma. Suppose sometime you think of something, I want to do this. Then you forget about it. That happens. A lot of time we think something we do, we forget about it. But that Chetana will remind us. This was Mansik Karam, right? Thinking about it and forgetting it. But Chetana instigates us to start thinking more about it later on. And then eventually that Chetana, that power will make us do that action, which we had thought sometime and forgot about it. So this is the part of Chaitanya Devata which is with every Jeev, and make sure that Jeev does what he thinks, complete his karma. Manasa Vacha Karmana, completes it. That power is what does it. And that power has no knowledge of Ishwar. So when Jeev wants to go to Ishwar Bhakti, that power, Chaitanya power, puts a roadblock. It doesn't want you to go there. So the Kshetra has been thus briefly described with its vikar. Why these vikar happen in the body? Okay? We said there are 6 vikar, right? Why do they happen in the body? It's not accident. Because wherever these bhoot get together, these 5 bhoot, out of even 2 get together, vikar will start. समझ रहे हैं? हाँ? समझ रहे हैं आप? Whenever the bhoot get together, vikar comes in. So in Sharir there are 5 bhoot, right? They are all together. So vikar has to happen. Now why? Example. A simple example of this is mixing soil, which is earth, with water. Put water in a bucket of water, put soil in a bucket and put water in it. Now let it stand for some time. When we add water to the soil become wet. Before it was dry, right? Now it's wet because there is water. Water has wetted the soil because that's the nature of the water, to wet things. Now if we let it set the mixture for a while, then in time there will be a rotting smell developing in there. Right? It start to stink. This change in the form is called vikar. Well, first, before that, dirt was smelling really good. You go to a field, a farm field, take some dirt, smell, it's got different nice fresh smell to it. Water is also great. It smells great. It's got no smell, it's nice. But we put 2 together, it start to rot. So in Sharir there are 5 bhoot together all the time. So vikar has to happen. That is the root cause of vikar. And without 5 bhoot, the Sharir won't be built. So when the Sharir is built, it's going to deteriorate over time. It's natural. Right? This change in the form is vikar. Our body is same way. In it there is union of bhoot, and as long as there is jivatma in it, as long as jivatma in the body will keep functioning. And as soon as jivatma leaves the body starts to rot. We have to freeze it, right? Otherwise it start rotting, stinking. Because same way, 5 bhoot are in there. Without a kshetragna or atma, jivatma, to make sure it keeps operating properly. And when the atma leaves, there is nothing to keep things together, and the body start to rot. So simple. See, Gita tells everything. So this is kshetra. Aside from the adhyatma gyan, now this is something different. Besides adhyatma gyan, all knowledge is of the sansar is about the kshetra. Any knowledge you take, any profession, engineering, right? Medicine, chemistry, physics, all these are related to what? Panch Bhut, Kshetra. That's all it is. None of the knowledge in sansar, which we go and learn things like that, is for Adhyatma Gyan. To elevate our Atma higher. It's all the Gyan of sansar is for body. How to make it look good, how to keep it functioning properly. If sick, then how to treat it, how to build the houses, to live in there. That's all it is. Nothing to do with Atma. More we indulge into these bodily things and all this, the prapanch, further and further Atma goes down deeper and deeper in the hole. It doesn't do any good to Atma. So today we learned about the body, the field of action, what it is made up of, the powers which keep it together and make it work, the 6 vikar which happen in the body, and why do they happen? Vikar takes place in the mind also, but they are not physical vikar. And body is physical vikar, mind is not physical. Next, Bhagavan goes into what all we should not do, and then he will tell what should be done in this human body. While we reside in the body, what shall we do, what we shall not do. So we'll take that up next time. I hope you enjoyed this. Sri Krishna.